There's like a squirrel in the tree. It's a bird, it's a pigeon. And I think he wants to jump into the recording. So he's literally just chilling there. Blood, what are you doing? So I actually tried to record this video yesterday. And because the weather was so hot, everything crashed. My phone overheated. My laptop overheated. It's legit only today that it was able to actually get back up to speed and work. But you know what? We're here. We've got about, let's say, half an hour to 40 minutes before torrential rain comes down upon us. So let's get on with today's video. So as always, I'd like to go through the universe of music and pick little bits of pieces of songs that I feel like you guys should add to your library. Songs that you might have heard before from artists, or songs that you've probably never even ventured to. And so I do that job and I travel to these places and actually compile a list of only 7 or 6 songs that I feel like you should have possession of. So with that being said, I'm really excited to introduce to you the songs that you should add to your library, the songs that you should listen to this week, part 2. Cue my intro, because it's hot as hell. So without wasting any time, I'm going to jump straight into the first song, and that is Gucci by Bree, Runway and Malibu Mitch. Now, my first encounter with Bree Runway came through Twitter when she was promoting her song APESHIT. Seeing how much respect and how much recognition it garnered, especially from people like Missy Elliott, really pulled home how much she's really pulling her own weight and how much effort she's putting into her music. The way her music videos are formulated, down to her sassy, aggressive yet powerful lyrics that she puts in, just makes you want to bop. And it's, I think, a massive great homage to the early 2000s of music that we used to listen to. Her latest EP, Be Runway, is something that I'm still yet to listen to, but with everything that I've heard from her, from the XS remix with Rina Sawayama to APESHIT to now Gucci, I'm more invested than ever to actually put a lot more time into listening to Bree Runway, and I just can't wait to see more from her. It really seems like she's got so many songs, so many music video ideas that are just stacked in the bank. She's definitely an artist who, in terms of music videos, they just thrive in. And I could tell that she puts a lot of time and effort into it. And I can just see her doing big things beyond music, especially within the fashion industry as well. You know, she's an artist with a lot of potential. And I can't wait to see what more she's going to bring to the era of music. Song number 2 is by another artist who I equally appreciate and I'm equally excited to see more of. And this song is a total 180 from one of her previous songs that I was first introduced to 2 years ago. And just seeing the range, for me, just makes it all the more exciting to see what more she's going to bring to this game. And that song is HUNNIES by Acet. Now, if you don't know who Acet is, she released a song 2 years ago called Bist Down, which was sort of more of a lo-fi hip-hop, very neo-soul-esque. And I also remember that she was a supporting act for Future back when he had his concert, I think around the same year. And I was really interested to see what more she was going to bring. This German artist has a very nice way of incorporating her German language into English and creating a good vibe that mixes and blends very well. And so when I found out that she also released HUNNIES, I was so shocked to find out how different it was to what she had usually done beforehand. The fact that she had a 2-year break definitely signifies to me that she was really thinking about what is she going to come back with. And this being her first single release of 2020, I can only praise and actually be excited for what more she's going to bring. So honestly, this track is a hard bop. Just like the previous mentioned song Gucci, these are 2 songs that if you've got a drop top, if you've got the window down all the way, blast this tune through the speakers all the way to 100 because you will not regret it. The next song is by 2 artists who I feel like are very confident and very well planted within their realm in UK rap. I feel like these 2 guys provide very different auras and very different environments when they just walk into a studio. And listening to this song definitely felt like it was 2 best friends linking up and just doing what they usually do on a regular basis. And so for me, this song And track number 3 on the songs that you should listen to this week is Effed Up by Knucks and Samwise. Knucks is an artist who I discovered firstly from Breakfast at Tiffany's, and then later on started listening to more of his music, one of my favorites being Big Kahuna. And the sheer fact that he was able to incorporate these 80s and 90s samples into his music and produce it in a way that sounds organic and far removed from what the original sample was, but at the same time you can tell that this is a Knucks song. And that's what I appreciated it so much. Every time he rapped, he sounded like he had flair, he had confidence, but also at the same time, you know, he brought a different vibe when he touched the mic. And the same thing for Samwise is every time I listen to him, I just want to mosh pit. And he's been able to give you chill vibes, but also at the same time mosh pit vibes. And that's what I really like about Samwise as well. And if you haven't already, I definitely think you should check out his latest project, Sorry You Were Saying. It's something that I feel like if you want to introduce yourself into who Samwise is, that's a very good project to get started into. And hearing these two guys on Effed Up really made me understand that, you know, these are just two guys from two different sides of the spectrum coming together as very good friends and doing dirt and doing what they do best. The song's a really nice hard bop, very good lyrics, and a decent attempt on both parts through singing. But I think with practice, they'll definitely get better and better. So that for me is the third song, Effed Up. Track number 4 on this one is probably one of my favorite grime tunes to release this year. It's no surprise to me when listening to this song and hearing these two guys link up. It's just reload and rewinds all the way through. And if you haven't already guessed it, track number 4 is Dielse, D-Power and Skepta with Sniper. One thing I really like about this track is Skepta pretty much already proves countless times how much of a barist he is. But also at the same time, I really like his reflective lyrics on him being a father, so he's not really about that gunman life anymore. So he's got men, he's got boys that will clap it for him, but at the same time he's also girls that will clap it for him too. Hearing how much Skepta has grown throughout his lyrics but still does it in a way where he's still in grease mode is something that I always appreciate. And Dielse, D-Power always just coming in through the lyrics, through the bars, his raspy voice really provides more of an energetic vibe when listening to this song. To be honest with you, this is something that isn't a surprise to me when it comes to a grime track, but it's definitely one of the best to release this year. And I've reloaded it a good couple times when I played it, so it's definitely a song and a track that I think that you guys should listen to. And speaking of artists who I feel like have pretty much already established their name and have already had multiple stamps of approval from people in the UK, from the community, from the music industry, I feel like this particular artist as well is another example of that. And this song again pretty much proves how much he hasn't let his foot off the gas pedal. And so with that, track number 5 is Hustlers Don't Die Part 5 by Young's Teflon. Now I feel like I was heavily invested in Young's Teflon when I first heard his Tracksuit Diaries. I think for me, listening to that really made me understand where he came from, but also the way in which he rapped and the way in which he portrayed his music was a really good way of storytelling. But also at the same time, you can really feel the places that he's coming from when you listen to his music. And so for me, Tracksuit Diaries was a great example of who Young's Teflon was, but at the same time, how much more he's going to do. And when you listen to his latest project that he released, Blood, Swag and Tears, it's a pretty much a prime example of how much Young's Teflon is still the same guy, still hasn't left, is still there and is still continuing doing his thing. And so with Hustlers Don't Die Part 5, I'm pretty much already invested. I've already been invested. And I feel like if you're not sure or if you haven't heard about who Young's Teflon is, definitely check out Blood, Swag and Tears. But also definitely listen to Hustlers Don't Die Part 5 to get a really good example as to who this guy is. Track number 6 is by an artist who I feel like is very, very unique in the way that he raps, in his lyrics. And with the music that he has out, I'm very much interested to see how much more he's going to bring. This song is, for me, a great epitome of Black Boy joy, but also at the same time is a very good example as to understanding his style of rap and his style of music. And so with that, track number 6 for the songs that you should listen to this week is Fly by Kwoli. The first song I heard by Kwoli was Till Infinity, and that song has done very well. It's a very good example as to how vulnerable Kwoli can be, but at the same time, his music and the way he raps is definitely something that I haven't heard from the UK before. It's very American inspired-esque, but also has his own UK twist to it too. That doesn't feel too forced or doesn't feel as if he's pandering to the Americans. It's a good balance between the two. And I think Fly is another example of that as well. Him speaking on lyrics about how much he just enjoys being in the element of performing, being in the element of creating music, and just wanting to get into that mode where he can just produce and just make good content for the fans and for the people. It is pretty much the epitome of how much he just wants to fly and how much he just wants to be free doing what he loves to do. And so I pretty much enjoyed this track. The way the keys come in very much remind me of a Chance the Rapper-esque type of song. I can very much plug myself into Kwoli a lot. I can't wait to see what more he's got left, what more he's going to release. But I feel like he's one of those artists where we can definitely see a bit of everything from him. And hearing Till Infinity, hearing Fly, I feel like he has an element to him where he can get really aggressive and really get across his emotions when it comes to rapping. And so that's a side for him that I'm actually excited to see and I'm hoping to see at some point within his career. But for now, Fly is a very good example of how much work and how well Kwoli has done. Now, the final song on this list, I believe, to be honest, I had to save the best till last. And this song for me is probably one of the best songs that I have listened to this year. Calling him talented is an understatement. The way this song is, the way the song's produced and what it does is absolutely insane. And I'm waiting and patiently waiting for this artist to just release some more because I genuinely feel like he does. And so with that, the final song that I think you should listen to, actually I don't even think you should listen to, you have to listen to, is Boadi, and this is Walk. Now, Boadi's an artist who's a jazz soul musician. He's multi-talented in playing multiple instruments. His voice and the production behind the music is absolutely insane. And it definitely reminds me of a JMSN. When you listen to JMSN's songs like Drinkin, it really gets across his emotions, how he feels, his vocal range. And I think Walk is a prime example of Boadi's capabilities when it comes to making music. I can't stress enough how important it is for everyone to listen to this song, to the point where it's like, even me describing it, I can't formulate sentences to properly describe how good this track is. Hearing his vocal range, hearing the jazz keys in the background, hearing the trumpet, hearing his lyrics is honestly something that hits the soul. And it's a track that I genuinely believe will propel him to massive heights. And so I honestly want this artist to do so well, just like everyone else on this list. But I genuinely feel like this lane that Boadi's in is totally out of this world. And so for me, that is the song Walk that I believe that you should listen to. And with that, that is the 7 songs that I believe that you should listen to this week. Now, it's a quick one because I definitely know it's going to rain. The way the clouds are forming is definitely telling me to hurry up and pack things up. So thank you very much for watching. As always, I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, turn your notification bells on so you get notified when I release a video. And hey, we're just trying to keep consistent and keep growing. There is a possibility due to the weather that I might not have a video out next week, or I might just record it inside of my house and have it set up there, but only time will tell. So for now, enjoy this one, share it as much as you can, share it to the artist, share it to your friends, share it to your nan, share it with your dog, do whatever you need to do. So with that, I'm Archie. I appreciate and love you guys, and I'll speak to you guys in the next episode. Peace.